Is that going too far? But first, American support for the war in Afghanistan is plummeting after a series of violent events involving U.S. troops. The latest CBS New York Times poll finds that 69% said the U.S. should not be involved in Afghanistan. 68% said the war was going somewhat or very badly. 44% thought troops should be withdrawn before 2014. Now, these new numbers come, of course, after the burning of the Qurans in February on a U.S. airbase in Afghanistan that sparked riots, deadly riots, and the killing of 6 American service members. And just 3 weeks later, March 11th, U.S. Staff Sergeant Robert Bales was accused of murdering 17 Afghan civilians. NBC's Chief Pentagon Correspondent Jim Miklashevsky joins me now. And Mick, this change in direction, or I should say more people now saying that this war has gone on long enough, is that a real surprise to people there at the Pentagon?
Well, not actually. And, you know, the first thing that senior military leaders will tell you is they don't devise a strategy or wage the war based on public opinion polls. Nevertheless, this has to be disconcerting, particularly during an election year when there will be tremendous pressure on the White House and President Obama to accelerate the withdrawal of American combat troops from Afghanistan. Right now, there are about 90,000 U.S. forces on the ground in Afghanistan. That's due to go down to about 68,000 by the end of September, just a month before the November elections. But there's already some talk about shortly after that time frame drawing out another 10,000 forces. Now, in testimony up on Capitol Hill last week before the House and Senate Armed Services Committee, the top U.S. commander from Afghanistan told General John Allen told lawmakers that he would like to wait and see what happens after that drawdown before any additional decisions are made on withdrawing troops. The one thing the military has always insisted upon is that the drawdowns be conducted in terms of the conditions on the ground at the time. But given these numbers, the White House may not wait.
Yeah, and Mick, when you look at also these numbers and you break it down along party lines, if you will, just as many, almost very close number of Republicans who traditionally have been backing this war say that they believe it's time or that it is going badly, which certainly counters, for example, what we heard from Senator John McCain, who says that there was success happening on the ground in Afghanistan.
Well, U.S. military officials will point to what they consider to be considerable successes in terms of forming up and training up many of the Afghan forces, working in partnership with many of the Afghan forces. But there is some concern among the military, even here in the Pentagon, that after these unfortunate incidents that you ticked off, several of them, including this most recent, in which it's alleged that Staff Sergeant Robert Bales shot and killed 17 Afghan civilians. There is some concern that even the Afghan people are tired of this war.
All right, Mick, thank you very much for the live report.